It's... I don't want to see what we saw in the last game. I don't know if you saw like my tweet that I put out in the break time, but it felt brutal, like testicular pain brutal in game number one.
It was a massacre. It really was a massacre. It was like, if I didn't know better, I would say, oh, Mineski's playing against some tier 4 team. That's not MVP Phoenix, but I think you're right. I think a big part of why the previous game went the way it did was the lane stage. And I think that even though we both agree Mineski's lineup maybe is more solid here, and it's easier to execute, MVP Phoenix don't have a lineup that's gonna it doesn't look to me like a lineup that's gonna collapse in the lane stage. I think we'll get out of the lane stage and both teams will still have some play in the game. And from there we'll see, which is going to be a completely different dynamic to the previous game, where it felt like after the lane stage that was just it. There wasn't any more game.
Agreed. So let's see how it starts.
30 seconds
So our laning phase is going to include, I love the 2 aggressive wards down from Mineski. They've spent some time with this map. There's also a small little battle of vision, which I kind of believe Riol has won here. With his position, with his posturing, he's got to understand that he can't stay here. He can't fight for this rune. A little bit of support from the Undying, maybe it would be possible. Like the Iron Shell over on the Earth Spirit, but Vash already got a 2-man decay, so they'll just be happy grabbing rune, which will give Febby an earlier bottle. But the battle which happened on bottom lane is for this observer wall, which got placed down by Mineski. This was between the early moving Earth Spirit as well as the early TP out from Riol. He got his ward down without MVP seeing where he put it. Even after he dropped it, they didn't get vision on very quickly. So he's already got the vision, the bottom lane, to understand what he's up against. And then Mineski put an observer ward up in the top lane, so they understand how much support is here on QO, and also ensures too, once Jules gets that level 2 or perhaps level 3 glimpse, they'll be able to drag back a long way because their vision is unobstructed on that top lane. So I'm liking the start from Mineski, but overall, the CS is going the way of MVP right now.
Denied.
Yeah, and again, they start Cure in the off lane. They'll probably switch reasonably early once Doxy's got a couple of levels like they did last game. And this is something impressive about MVP to me. They've always felt like different to other. There's actually going to be a wraparound. Cure's going to be targeted here. Top lane.
Ooh, this is problematic. Vash comes in with a decay. Hits pretty hard. QO is very low. The blink forward from Cuckoo. This helps Vash get the last punch in, and first blood goes the way of Mineski.
Yeah, did they switch right now? This is what happened last time.
Yeah, they are.
They switch right now. It's like this sign. As soon as Cure is dead, he's going back. And this is something I want to say. Something impressive about MVP and the Korean teams in general is that they've shown, even though they fit into the SEA style a bit, they kind of fit everywhere as well. They borrow from whoever they like, and this is something that Team Secret and European teams started with the send your safe lane farmers to off lane, your off lane to safe lane, and switch around. And these kinds of things are reasons why I think MVP end up doing well, because they can borrow the best parts of each playstyle. Unfortunately, like we saw in the previous game, it doesn't happen overnight. You can't just like, copy something someone did and immediately be amazing at it. You have to learn to perfect it.
You have to understand the rhythm. Like you put it perfectly during the first game. Peer team that will just keep running at you. They'll keep fighting. They want to draft a lineup that will just be able to contest you in every single lane at every single time. The problem is when you draft a lineup which is meant to do the exact opposite. What happened in game number 1? It wasn't a thing.
No, it didn't work at all. Ember Spirit versus Slaughter is very interesting dynamic. Mid lane, they're actually going to try and dive between a pin.
Well, she's got Blink of Bubble. The rock's going to hit it, but she blinks away in time. Quick bottle up. Febby with the haste runes trying to go for it. A little bit of damage from the tower as well as the Shadow Strike, so won't be able to finish the job.
I think there was a minor stack there of the Earth Spirit stun and the Tiny stun, and again, that's something that you have to work on with the Earth Spirit, but almost comboed off, almost made the kill. What I want to say about the bot lane while Undying is actually hiding on the side here, Ember Spirit versus Slaughter, there's a very interesting dynamic where Slaughter has no way to take off Ember Spirit's shield, which usually is a sign that Ember Spirit gets good value in the lane, but at the same time, the Stomp is going to go straight through the shield. If he hits it, that is, and he misses that one. You're doing well to pull back.
Dire's middle tower.
He just got the range on the crush. It's a steering change mechanic where he's able to get the space, which is good for him.
Denied.
Oh, Anti-Mage is getting the farm he wants at the start of this game. And that's certainly a part of Mineski's plan. It's an interesting thing because for the first 4 picks of Mineski's draft, it looked a lot like a super aggressive, we're going to just fight and snowball like last game draft. And then they picked up the anti-mage, which kind of like allows them to have that option to go back, but that's all they want to
QO, this is... You move him off the lane and then you lose him straight away. There's no mana available, so this Crush will be able to connect because QO doesn't have any steering chains to break free. At least he has a PMS block, and Fabi's going to give as much regeneration as possible. Vash has only hit the double decay, and Fabi just tossed just to get QO off the lane. So this is the downside about running QO on the off lane to start with and then rotating him down. Yes, Ferev's able to now to spam out some Iron Shells up against Cuckoo, but Cuckoo's got enough space to farm up his ring that he'll be able to regenerate anyway and stay in the lane. QO will never be able to keep up with him. Middle lane, Reggie Potato, he could just blink for this. No, Fabi's in the neighborhood, he's not going to go.
They went for a kill on the anti-mage at the top lane as well, but couldn't quite do it before he blinked out. And I gotta say, both these games, it's a lot on Dubu actually what's happening to QO, because it's natural for Fabi to be helping out solo rank warrior, that's like what he does. It's natural for Ev to be on his own in the off lane. Dubu's been roaming in the Kunkka and now in the Earth Spirit, and if QO is struggling on his own, like that's the trade-off. You gotta get value out of the roam from Dubu if he's not helping the Ember Spirit.
He's not helping, this Slander's getting bigger and bigger. I can't believe how much space he's got, because QO went for that run away from the rest of Mineski and took a while to get back into the lane. It's just been this real problem. No one's contesting the Slander. Soon you'll have amplification off. He tried to just slide himself in with a rock by the looks of it on top of Queen of Pain, but just missing the timing. Raging Potato still enjoying his moment. Cuckoo gonna blink himself off that top lane, care of the Iron Shell. Mineski are doing great jobs of, like, they're stacking up this camp on the side of the top lane.
Thank you.
Rev really wants and needs to farm this. Even if he's got an Iron Shell into the camp, he should go for it. Jules, he leveled up a second point up in Glimpse. This is when that Observer Ward's going to kick into play. He easily sees Rev. He's going to try and surge himself away, and actually I say try, he will succeed.
So great for him. He moved in to reinforce Cure.
It feels like he's just a bottle runner right now. The regeneration didn't last long enough, so there's only 2 bottle charges on QO.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dubu is the draft of this team as well, and obviously the team has faith in him, but he's drafted himself into like unusual roamy support heroes 2 games in a row. And even though a lot of his kill attempts were like almost kills both games early on, the fact that they're not kills is actually very damaging. Like, they need to be kills to justify leaving Q on his own all the time. So, I mean, it's like I said, it's a very different story to the previous game. It's not like the lane stage is going badly for MVP, they lost the game.
Oh,
it's
Ferev.
like they're a bit behind.
This isn't the dream for Ferev. He surges first this time around. Cuckoo's going to try and body block him. He's still got the mana void available, so he's a little bit more damage. And with the blink for Cuckoo, you're committing too heavily. The Talon's going to get the kill as well as Fabi. Cuckoo's so low, 25 life. The Wisp Spirits. The balls try and slap the Anti-Mage, and 2 will hit. The third will not. The blink in 1 second. The third's able to connect. Fabi will lose his life, but he will take the Anti-Mage with him. That is one upside. Well, he should take the Anti-Mage with him. Yep, there we go. There is your Scream. There's a little bit of support coming in from the solo rank warrior, and from the side picks up Disruptor. Raging Potato with a blink scream forward, however, will pick up his own double kill, grabbing that Darkseer again, but a worthwhile trade for MVP. Are they actually going more? Okay, so bottom lane, Ember kills off the Slaughter. The Undying minions won't chase a Soul Rip from the Undying. I don't think he believes there's going to be enough damage, instead he gets Soul. I'm really not sure about that trade-off. Either way, Soulboard is finally leveled up in 4 apiece on across the map.
And I would say this is much more in MVP's comfort zone than the previous game. Like, they're still a bit behind. They're not getting the best of the trades, but the trades are trades. They're not. It's not just one-way traffic.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They can see Ferev. They're coming down. But the idea is just to glimpse him back, and then directly into the crush in the wall of Slaughter. You even hit into the camp, which is going to allow them to die off that dire creep wave and drag the way back again.
Well, Queen of Pain being... No, they're not going to be able to do anything to her.
Tiny can't get there in time. I'm interested to see if Solo Rank Warrior wants to go for the Blink Dagger first. He's getting really depressed as he lost the top rune as well. But yeah,
I
if
think
this,
he will in this game.
do you think it actually needs to, or should it still be that whole timing attack with the Aghanim Scepter instead?
I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't think he goes straight Ags either way. Like, if he doesn't go for the blink, he's probably going to go for the drum. I think Q actually, when he plays Tiny for MVP, usually goes for the drum. I think he really likes the drum. But I think Solo Rank Warrior might need to go for the blink in this game because, as I said before, they're limited in means of catch early on. And so in order to actually make kills, in order to be able to threat to the heroes that can blink, I think you maybe need your own blink, but we'll see soon enough.
Raging Potato comes to the top lane. Still got their Observer Ward down, so they see what's up with Farev. Farev doesn't see them, however, as now he'll back out of the top lane anyway. A little uncertain about things. Blink. I don't even know Blink, it's just a basic crush. Kyo didn't have a Spirit down. We had a Searing Chains, 2 of them, but Vash. Times get rough, he's still got that 1 point up in Soul Rip. So he can give life back pretty quickly. They brought in the Tiny. So Tiny making his way towards QO, and now Avalanche toss that Soul Rip. Vash was too far away, he backed up into the tree line for some reason.
Yeah, right before that QO actually baited off the Mist-Slithering Crush. He knew he had a Spirit up, so he was just being cheeky. And I think it's his victory actually. He kept Real interested, baited out the Crush misses, and this is a rivalry that's been around for a long time. If you remember, Real was actually playing for Rave back when it was like, SEO was all MVP versus Rave. These players know each other, and I think there's a little bit of a like mini joust in that little sequence of events, which Kyo comes out on top of.
Still, man. Oh, Kyo!
Never refuse gold.
Quickly out to the Spirit. Real's coming down though. They'll drop down the Spirit, and they're waiting. Like you've got a Spirit down the tree line, so they have to try and zone him out. But Vash, he's gonna lose his life. The Soul Rip up as well as the one charges. Raging Potato still waiting for him to Spirit jump. So he'll Spirit up, down, and into the waiting arms of the Slaughter. That looked very difficult for Mineski, but they still played it perfect.
This time Real won the duel, and it's like, I mean, just look at that. He goes and waits at the Spirits, and you're thinking like, is this going to cost his team? His Undying might die, but it turns out that was exactly what he needed to do. He makes the kill, his teammate lives, and like some pretty technical plays being made on both sides. Yeah, it's nice. It's very impressive.
Got to keep it up right now, Mineski. Still 1,000 net worth in front as well as experience. So things are going their way for the time being.
The Tiny blink, and
there goes it. Raging Potato, gonna toss him back. Blink was on cooldown for the Queen of Pain. They would have had time to punch him twice with the Tiny as well as let all those spirits hit him. Could have potentially been a kill.
It's super important, I think, to have the blink on Tiny this game, and they've actually got the relocate up. Looks like they're looking for somewhere to possibly go, but it's nobody's safe now. If he doesn't go blink, they can feel a lot safer farming. That's what Mineski wanted to do for a little while, especially on the anti-mage. The blink on the Tiny, everyone needs to be careful all the time, and it looks like their version of careful is just constantly pressure QO. They're tired of his antics.
Searing Chains went on bottom lane. A lot of supporters down here in QO. Well, here comes your relocate disruptor holding will pop the avalanche toss. Real's getting attacked pretty heavily. He is going to go down. Question, how's this story end? With those three coming in for the double stun, he's going for another one. In fact, they're all going to get silenced up. Jules trying to pull QO out, but he's still able to spirit himself back into the fight. MVP will take out 2 players from Mineski. Gosh, damn, that's such crap ability. Magnetized from Dupu, causing real issues for Mineski during that fight. Not to mention...
Yeah, damage up.
Okay.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I feel like the big difference so far in this game is that Cure is not completely irrelevant. His Morphling was just like, yeah, Morphling's got like some tricky things it can do, but it doesn't kill you in the process. Oh, it actually comes back fine, so don't worry. Cure is not going to get caught as well, and he doesn't have
they got Sonic Wave up as well, but Raging Potato! Dubu was able to get the perfect stun timing. The Earth Spirit teaming up with his brother, and they're able to get the kill on the Queen of Pain. She really wasn't ready for that.
The difference is, like, if you play Morphling, there's a lot of ways you can, like, juke the enemy team, stop them from killing you, but you don't kill them in the process, whereas Ember Spirit's like, they make one wrong move and actually they die as well. Kyo's definitely made the most of that this game.
Rio, more trouble for him, Searing Chains. Vash gonna try and keep him alive, but Soul Rip only on cooldown for Rio. That'll provide a little bit more space Just by having those one charges of his, runs himself out. Playing, they're gonna iron shell up on the tiny. You don't see it visually, but it most definitely is there.
Yeah, Anti-Mage dies if he gets caught here, like 100%. I think he probably dies the blink stun toss, even without the iron shell, because he's not on full HP. So we'll see if he just ducks into the trees and just waits for long enough. If he comes out, if he pokes his head out and they see him, he's gonna.
Wait for that perfect time. MVP will get rid of their lag.
Dire's bottom tower
Solar
is
Rank
under
Warrior's
attack.
waiting for him. Jules is the one rotating up, but he's going to go the long way around, so not next to the tiny. But they're still picking out his position, and yep, Solar Rank Warrior walks directly into it, and the tiny will be able to get himself a free pickoff. It's something for his rotation.
And they actually, there's no hero on the side of Mineski that can like, okay, it's your job to counteract the tiny's rotations with his blink. They actually can't control him. They need to just avoid his combos, because if he gets onto someone, they're gonna die. And Slaughter, maybe if he had blink, could like run sort of like counter plays, but doesn't have it yet, not even close to it.
He's gonna have help though. Raging Potato's moving over. QO. But the amplification on him, Queen of Pain, could potentially just blink and Sonic Wave. Yep! Raging Potato gives no traps into TP out, but Dubu's gonna stop it down the rocks. Raging Potato needs a little bit of help. He can't blink for 2 more seconds, and in fact, he is gonna go down. The Darkseer dies in the meantime up on the top lane, so the Anti-Mage as well as Disruptor combine together. That lets you complete the Battle Fury now for Cuckoo, thanks to that kill.
Yes, the Cuckoo's playing a good game, being careful not to get picked off. Getting there, but gonna need a lot more help, I think. Gonna need a lot more space,
Dire's
and
bottom tower is under attack.
the Queen of Pain is sort of the only one that can be creating that space right now, and it's a difficult game for her because she's playing with fire. There's a lot of, the Ember Spirit can chain her, the Earth Spirit can stun or silence her, Tiny can combo her. There's a lot of ways Queen of Pain could be trying to make space and it can backfire and she can go down.
Top tower
It could be a lot easier for her once she's got that Orchid. Like we saw how much control it gave during the last game, even though they had a lot of it. Up against heroes like the Ember Spirit, who naturally don't want to be building into PKBs or mana styles to break free of it, you'll be able to inflict the damage and not get controlled. Same for the Darkseer. Like maybe once you got Greaves you'll be happier with life, but Tiny, you don't want to go BKB as your first major item behind your Blink Dagger.
Yeah, it's maybe it'll be that
middle lane
butterfly.
QO. It's just Syrian change. Raging Potatoes just gonna wait through this. Blink! 1 second, but he's silenced up. Magnetize had to be committed for that one, but they get the kill. Meanwhile on bottom lane, a crush from Slana, able to help out. Maybe he did skewer tether himself forward. With the Undying Tombstone down, it's very difficult to run away. But you've got this wonderful thing called Relocate, which will do it for you. It does leave Solar Rank Warrior by himself on the bottom lane. I won't see being down there to help him just yet. Looks like he actually doesn't require it.
Kill the Wisp. Wow, nearly actually kills Slaughter in the process.
If it wasn't for the one charges, he would be dead.
Yeah, it's Queen of Pain is actually such an important hero for them to be killing. Slow down her Orchid, slow down her ability to control the game, because even if Anti-Mage farms in the process while they take down the Queen of Pain, the Anti-Mage is going to pay for it later. Because once they start targeting him, if the Queen of Pain's not able to, like, you know, contribute to controlling them, or she's actually been chained again, yeah.
Yeah, she's in real trouble. Vash got the Soul Rip available, gonna try and decay, but can this stun control from MVP is just too good.
These are Spirit heroes, there's all kinds of Queen of Pain. It used to be the Storm Spirit rolling onto it, the Ember Spirit, the Earth Spirit. They're her worst nightmare.
I'm waiting to see a lineup where you're able to run an Ember off lane, a Tiny Wisp mid, the Ember Spirit support, and then a Storm Spirit safe lane. You get the entire Spirit Brother lineup. Obviously, it's not stuck cold right now though. Vash, dead. This is MVP finally. They're getting momentum. They're getting damage out with a double damage from Ember. It made very short work of Vash. Now the tier 1 tower mid lane will also fall.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, really the difference.
Radiant
There's
structures are
very clear
fortified.
differences from the draft between this game and the last game. The one is the MVP got their Wisp that they're so comfortable playing with.
Radiant's
Or
top tower is under
there might
attack.
be some action at the top lane.
Dire's
No, I
middle
don't think
tower
so.
is
The
under
one is that
attack.
they got the Wisp. The other is that Cure's playing Ember Spirit, also much more comfortable in Morphling. Then there's Dubu on the Earth Spirit, which is just way less
Radiant's
limited than
top
Kuka
tower
in its
is under
early game
attack.
impact. So MVP able to play their game much more naturally with the heroes they have. And again, like we said in the previous game, it looked like they were trying different heroes. Well, Real actually dodges the avalanche. But
Yeah, but he's still dead. These Whispers should finish the job. One charges, the Spurs won't reach him. The Star Root from Vash will try and keep him alive, but now Mineski are
Radiant's
caught on
middle
all
tower
three
is under
sides.
attack.
Q is still coming back yet again. He did a Spirit commit to one, dodge the stun, and two, kept the kill over on the Slider, who overstayed his welcome. The Sonic Wave arrives from Raging Potato, but really, the damage is minimal. Even the Disruptor roll, he is not controlling up enough. Raging Potato try and play around that silence, but unable to do so. And now 3 players down for Mineski. They had the greatest game they could have asked for in game number 1, but right now, the MVP momentum is starting to look
middle
unstoppable.
tower is under attack.
yeah,
Radiant's
next
middle
the only
tower
plus
has
side for
fallen.
Mineski is that Anti-Mage is getting space all the time. He's getting a lot of creeps. I mean, his net worth is
Dire's
still
top
behind
tower
Tiny's
is under
actually.
attack.
And the problem is that, you know, if he was getting a lot of space to the
Dire's
point that, like, okay, he has a
structures
Manta
are
Star right now, great. That's actually probably worth it for Mineski, but he doesn't have a Manta Star. He's almost got a Vlad's, and then he's gonna have to farm the whole Manta Star. And that's the problem, I feel like, with the other heroes of
Dire's
Mineski
top
being
tower
pressured, with
has
Slardar
fallen.
never getting to, well, taking really long to get to Blink, and Quap taking really long to get to Orchid. Once the pressure gets
Radiant's bottom tower is under
pointed
attack.
towards the Anti-Mage, there's not gonna be anyone to help him.
structures are fortified.
I'm kind of surprised yet not surprised at Solo Rank Warrior's build here, where he bypassed the Aghanim Scepter. He went in instead to get the Assault Cuirass. He's 600 gold away from completing it, but he had the money for the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, that is interesting, actually. I guess it's improves the damage of the Ember Spirit as well, and helps them in what it looks like what wants to be some kind of snowbally. They're gonna go and take objectives reasonably soon.
It's
Keep the
nice up
momentum.
against the Slider as well. But you've
Yeah.
got now like your armor as well as you're starting to get levels up in Cragley. 5-man smoke by
Oh, that's
Mineski. With the Slider, they've
They're
got to
going
go in
to
for
rush.
Roshan. That's got to be this play.
Dire's
You finish up
bottom
the
tower is
Vlads,
under attack.
you amplify up, you don't commit everyone in there, however. But the ping's already coming
pinged
from
out
MVP. They know what's going on. Red surging himself forward. Might try and go for the back right now. Dubu needs to try and split up the fight a little bit, but the Disruptor only is perfect. Red's got nowhere to run. They'll make charge up, but it's not enough life to survive. So Dubu going to get glimpsed back and crush. Mineski, great play by them, but now QO's arrived as well as Solo Rank. He's going to go in and beating into the Undying. They look for Mordecai, another great crush. Bebby is now going to take a fall as well, but QO still burning him with a Spider Fist and Searing Chains, but QO is getting done out, and the Sonic Wave. MVP lose everything. They fall back on their Earth Spirit, but it's really all too late. Mineski have already taken the fight. Now they just have to survive long enough to finish up Roshan without the Earth Spirit causing problems. And he could cause a lot of problems. There's a lot of oh no! Where's the batch from Roshan also on the Cuckoo? Brought down
Get it,
one.
Wally.
Dubu's gonna go again. He's lining up the rocks to just pepper them down. There we go. Roshan will go the way of the Anti-Mage, and Dubu being orchided up by the Queen of Pain. He will not be able to contest the main event himself. Just get the pick on the Undying.
The fight gets won by Mineski purely positionally. It's that advantage of, well, people don't talk about that much when they talk about rush pit advantage. When you're inside the rush pit, the enemy team can't see you, and the chances are you can see them. So MVP like know the rush is going on, but as they approach, the informational advantage is all on Mineski's side. They can decide which hero initiates on which hero, who to lock down, who to control, and Disruptor also just does too much work at the start of the fight. I think Darkseid got basically nothing off.
Yeah, he dies straight away. He surged himself in and then got blink crushed. Then he's gone. And
Yeah.
right now they want to do the same thing again. QO with a blink, they're able to get the Orchid off, Defense Spirit or not. The bashes arriving in from Slider at the perfect time. So much damage, and QO's on the sidelines for 50 seconds. He's got the full
Honestly,
Battle Fury
Mineski-
done, he's got nothing to do on the map.
Dire's bottom tower is under
They
attack.
pretty much undid all of the hard work MVP did all game. I was talking about how the Queen of Pain start out behind in their farm, behind in their progression. They can't help the anti-mage, but with that fight and with the rush kill, all of a sudden Queen of Pain finished Orchid. Well, she had finished it before. She's got almost an entire BKB. Starter's got almost the entire 4-star. So they're one item, they've caught up one item, they were behind by about half an item.
Radiant's top tower is
And
under
now
attack.
it's kind of advantage Mineski again because it's QO who's behind. That's who needs to catch up.
To rock down the anti-mage Dubu. It's not going to commit much more than that, however.
Radiant's top tower has
Also doesn't want to reveal out too much as they were preparing to fight. In fact, that's exactly what they do. Tiny. Well, you're a little bit out of position there. Dubu's going to try and come in and help. Might be a magnetized moment when the back gets the big wall out for Mineski. Solar Rain still alive. He one-charges. He's actually living through this, running away from the tombstone with the help of Heavy Heal to 5. Cuckoo again getting hit by the rocks of Dubu, and QO will come and join the fight with the tombstone down. MVP actually have a really good chance to win this fight hands down, and they're looking for Jules. They're going to find him, but they can't find him in time. So Mineski losing their Slaughter as well as the Undying was never part of the plan, but they still took out the top tower. The Animage had the Aegis burn, sure. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be for them.
I mean, if this fight happened before the rush fight, it would be like MVP
Great pick.
Rex, pretty much.
is under attack.
Balanced
very
Spirit,
good.
able to get the initial stun.
If this kind of fight happened before the rush fight happened, I think it's MVP just goes straight onto Rax. I don't know if they do now, because there's slightly more items. Wouldn't be that surprised, to be honest. It is MVP
Dire's
after all.
top tower has fallen.
Not really friends of going back, they like going forward.
The Observer Ward inside the base. Got to toss the Slaughter back out. He'll still get himself a double cross, but Bosch also being Searing chained up. Rio's on the run out of here. The Urn Charge is ticking him down, and Aya's going to finish the job.
Is under attack.
Mineski have no Slaughter for 50 seconds. This is top Rax.
Little Queen of Pain. Antimate doesn't have Mantis Star yet. He's not ready to fight. I mean, he's very close. Actually, he's about to finish it. They might come fight.
BKB from Quamp. She's going to Sonic Wave. QO. He has so many one charges built up. There's no problem at all. And they bringing down the Disruptor. He'll have no influence in this fight whatsoever. And Cuckoo getting hit by more flying boulders. Be careful of pebbles.
Radiant's bottom tower.
He'll move
is
back
under
to
attack.
base.
That was the hope there.
Dire's
He like
top
finished his
barracks
Manta,
are under
TP'd
attack.
home, and then blinked in Manta, and his images just died instantly. And now he's off to farm again. That's the Raxus going down.
Dire's
And
top barracks has fallen.
it's so interesting actually. The rush fight looked to like turn around the momentum substantially. And MVP again in classic MVP style, they're like, okay, we had a bad fight. The way we're gonna undo this is by having a good fight. From there, it's as if that bad fight never happened. They're back to where they were. We can talk about MVP having control of the game and Mineski trying to catch up.
And Mineski, how much are they going to catch up? You actually look at the goal graph and watch the swing up and down. There was a 7.5k shift, and now MVP shifted it back
Once,
again
yeah.
after they managed to gain that advantage. The experience has nothing in it. Duo is the man who's currently being hunted. The Dire Observer,
is
well,
like
they can
their
see him. He's
plan
going to slide a
always.
50. He actually attacks the Animage with it. The Raging Potato has Nimbus Rune, so he can Orchid right now. Tany's moving over as well. With the Mana Boy, just not enough damage. Solar Rank Warrior arrives at the perfect time. Queen of Pain so low, but she'll be able to walk out. Cuckoo will not be so lucky, however. Are they going to try and relocate for some kind of magical play? That's the last TP out, but that was the Undying going to work, and they're picking correctly. They understand where Raging Potato is going. They feel like they know where he is. They're relocating down with the Spirit Jump. He's going to get VK beat, but there was no TP. It was on cooldown for that time. But Queen of Pain as well as Animage on the sidelines. This is probably your remaining tier 2 towers on the map going down.
Dire's middle tower is under
Is
attack.
this amazing thing about the way MVP plays and the way QO plays? He's always pushing aggressively. He's always like putting himself out there where he can get caught. And one of the advantages, like sure, we've seen him get caught a few times this
Dire's
game,
middle
but
tower is
MVP
under
basically
attack.
knew. Mineski's off the map, they're trying to do something, they want to make a play to get back into the game, they're probably smoking, and you know they're going for QO. And the rest of the team sort
Dire's
of
bottom
gradually
tower
heads
is under
towards them,
attack.
assuming, yeah, this is probably going to
Dire's
gank him.
bottom
And they're
tower
exactly
has
right.
fallen.
It's just too predictable at that point, that that's the hero that you're trying to gank every time.
I love how all this Rax pushing has also been set up. Like, the timing for this one's a little bit easier, because the fortification would have gone on top lane anyway. Okay, blink struck by Real. Come back to it in a moment, and it's now Slaughter fifth. They control the Slaughter perfectly. They push him back. He won't go down, however. The Urn is not doing enough damage, but MVP, remember why they came here. They have that Dark Seal wall down, making it difficult for Mineski to initiate. In fact, Undying getting caught by Son of Fifth Series Chain. Do they back out? No. There's a blink forward looking for the attack onto Jules. But he's also burned his ultimate. QO, okay, they're going to glimpse back in the Tiny, but really Tiny wants to be here. The Mana Void damage is very minimal. One charge at the last moment is to blame for that one. QO is now going to buy back and just go straight back to his spirit. The BKB will protect Raging Potato as Forever, just dodging left and right. The Sonic Wave actually killing off the Tiny. He's also going to buy back a Fireball if they want to try and grab him. Potentially they could just relocate for it. But right now, Febby, he may not be alive long enough to do that. But in fact, dragging fast as well as Cuckoo up to the high ground. There goes your relocate. And Dubu can ball himself away. QO is still here, cannot afford to die, especially after this dieback. But Forev trying to cause chaos. We've already got the Tombstone back up again. Cuckoo blinks down to TP away. And the Tiny did fight back to come into this fight with the back of that relocate. Slaughter running away. He's going to force stuff up just to get him deep enough inside the base. He will be able to outrun the Tiny. And this is going to be it.
I mean, Tiny and Empress were both brought back. This is like super risky actually. They gotta get something close.
They might be able to. The creep wave's still pushing in while Mineski are regenerating, but they haven't done enough damage. They still never got rid of this dire observer ward, so they're being watched. Every movement is being watched.
The decision is that what they're getting for the buybacks is to just play safe and not have them die. Because a dieback would be really the worst thing. And it's actually a BKB being rushed out now for sort of rank warrior, but I think what's decisive in that fight is that Warrior got himself a bit too kited. After the first wall and vacuum, he couldn't get a second vacuum off the entire fight. I watched him the whole fight. He had vacuum ready. First he got kited by Queen of Pain, like from I don't know, over here. He had to run all the way across. Then he tried to go in through the base, and there was an Undying
big pick. Mineski jump forward, they go for Bambi, the avalanche caught from the Spider Pit. It's some decent damage now for Forever with the back wall. They caught out a lot, but QO needs to go for another time to fit silenced up for the moment. But now he'll get it off. No combo with the Searing Chains. In fact, he saves that one. Locking Cuckoo in position, but they don't get out this one scot-free. The damage output, they were looking for the Mana Void to help get the kill, but really, the last swing was going to do it. The Earth Spirit also showing himself. Dubu just trying to get the hell out of here. Reggie Potato actually stopping running for a moment. Now back out. Good reason too. Roshan is up, and they know there's no Ember Spirit for a minute.
The game swung back to Mineski. This game, like, such gigantic swings we've seen back and forth. I mean, I'm not even talking about the goldal experience, just the flow of the game. Each time one team looks like, okay, they've taken control, and then the other team pulls out of fights. As I was saying before, the action broke out. I think the fight with Barber X is just, unfortunately for Forever, has had a great game so far. In that one fight, couldn't get the vacuum he wanted. I mean, Jesse Vash did really well in Undying. He literally walked up to Darkstone and was just punching him, so he couldn't blink in.
MVP's too late. Roshan's gonna be done by the time they get there. We could have hoped for a hope play. He's gonna throw the rocket just in case anyone's hovering around. But he is definitely not. Very smart TP tap. Yeah, but this Whisper's a BKB! He won't get crushed. What is this?
Tiny's about to have one too. So that's something. But I would say this game is now shaping up to be quite appropriate for a game that decides which one of these teams is going to land. And I think we're getting the game we deserve for that.
I can't believe we're still having like 8k swings in the experience. Gold swing hasn't been a full 8k. But still MVP, we have to remember they've also got a huge advantage. One, they're running Tiny Wisp, and two, in conjunction with that, they've taken out the top racks. So without this top racks, they can still play that split push game. You relocate in when the fortification is down. You beat the crap out of the racks. You have to keep that top lane pushed in slightly so that when it hits the edge, you can just go for it. But there's no backdoor regen to stop you. Right now, Forever is probably dead. Oh, he's surging himself away.
In terms of actually...
No, he's definitely dead. Blink up, there's your rocket. The Blink Crush, okay, that's well out of position, but they're still going to glimpse him back into the ulti of Jules. Another dire observer deeper in the lane, and he knew it. The gem is down, and now in fact they're going to relocate in with the BKB. It's QO looking for the Son of Fist damage to drop the Has dive, but Raging Potato still wants to kill him. He can't get the BKB to protecting him. This Tombstone from Bush still has not gone down yet. Look, Kuka comes back into the fight. He tries to make more of himself. just helping that sleight of fist from QO, however, helping to kill off the Queen of Pain. So the Slaughter, who now brings down the Earth Spirit, moves over to QO. The top from Tiny, he just beats through Mineski. They've lost 4 heroes. One of them about to be reincarnated again as the blink up from Cuckoo goes into the lane. Rev wants to chase it. And if he gets this correctly, he can back in 2 seconds, 1 second time. They might guess for the secondary blink, but then again, they may not care for what they're here for. They've got to push the Raxes.
Queen of Pain and Slaughter... Okay, Slaughter's got buyback. Queen of Pain does not. So if they were to make a move on... I don't think they actually can make a move on the objective. They just try to run into the base, the bot lane with the top creeps.
They might get an objective. Okay, maybe not. TP'd into the tier 2 tower. I thought for a moment MVP would see him and initiate. Said he's just here to farm.
One thing I'm not sure about is Cuckoo is going for that Abyssal Blade, because I think he needs a BKB. I really think he needs a BKB. There's so much control for him. There's AoE to wipe his images, and then when he doesn't have the Aegis, I think he's very vulnerable. Like, Queen of Pain has a BKB. She's actually very difficult to kill now. Really, the reason MVP won that fight is because they just used so much to kill Darkseer, who was the one core on the side of MVP that still had buyback. So you use all your spells, use all your ultis, you kill the Darkseer, and he comes straight back into the fight, and suddenly, like, you're fighting with a huge disadvantage.
I'm kind of okay with it if it's just a casual basher. Primarily because of the time when he picked it up, Mineski were having the lead. The swing was going their way at that time. So it made sense at that point of the game, but I definitely agree with you. Like, BKB is a must-have item for Cuckoo. He could also, if he got it that early on, he could be in the same position as the Queen of Pain. You get down to a 5-second duration on the BKB of Ragey Potato. I mean, that longer duration later into the game may be a better thing for him. Same for the Slaughter, who's probably going for a BKB as his next major item.
Feels like it was only like 10 minutes ago that she got her BKB, and she's just worn it down so quickly because it's been constant fighting. It just tells you about how the game's been going.
Kind of surprised too that Febby ended up building into a BKB. The item I thought he would probably choose would be something more like a Lotus Orb. Really to have the Dispel as well as just the natural armor you get from it, but now he's building into a Vladimir's, if I'm judging by that ring, just to buff up the Tiny.
I mean, he's just trying to be difficult to burst down. I mean, part of the reason you get BKB is if you relocate in, Disruptor can't just glimpse you out. That's one thing. But it's also, a lot of people, the approach to dealing with the Wisp is you burst down the Wisp and then it can't make the hero tethering stronger.
Can you,
but this Wisp is actually
Lotus
just such a pain
glimpse?
to deal with.
Can you actually Lotus Orb, like, to take off Lotus, you Lotus Orb to take off Glimpse?
I doubt it. I don't think you can. I mean, because most other things interact with Glimpse, the Glimpse still goes. That could be Yules yourself or Shadow Demon disrupts you, anything like that.
Yeah, true.
It just kind of pushes you through it.
One of those things. I was just wondering in my mind. Because then you'll be able to solve that problem as well.
She's mine.
The Q is also finished a Mantis Star, which I think is pretty significant. The amp damage and the Orchid have both been controlling him quite substantially this game.
So he
means he doesn't have that crazy burst damage from the Daedalus, but his team's not lacking in damage.
Mineski, they smoke up, they're going to come in. Qo and Solar Rank Warrior, they're going to try and switch themselves out. Qo instantly got the Disruptor off ulti. He wanted to try and break through with the Mana Star with the Sonic Wave. They're going to burn through with life, but he gets the Spirit away. He's actually out to the bottom lane. Means the Mineski's initiation will end up failing. The BKB was protecting the Tiny. Qo straight back to farming up. He's gonna TP back to base.
You couldn't find the real cure quickly enough. Like the use of the Mantis Star, not what I was talking about before, but he managed to get it off, and it just bought him that much little amount of time that he could jump out to his remnant.
MVP are about to fight. They throw the sentry ward up. Say it to Dubu, but he's trying to bait someone to come forward, but Kuku's gonna do it, but he BKB'd up the Mana Void! Spills out quite heavily to damage Qo. They've got a bash, they've got the kill on the Tiny. Mineski, this is a huge success of a defense. They can see where Febby is tethering to, so they just gotta chase it, but the Rock!
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And the chase is done. They'll kill off the Wisp when he comes back with the relocate. But that's gonna be all she wrote. He's actually gonna beat Wait, he's BKB, tethering, and TPing.
Thy soul's in
It was worth a
deficit.
try.
Yeah, it's nice little move, but I think now this game becomes MVP trying to win by ratting. That's I think, and that's what they wanted in the previous game. Now they get into a more reasonable situation because I think that now that anti-mage is that BKB, Queen is the BKB, like just based on the pickups on Mineski, right now MVP should not be winning a team fight. They shouldn't. They should be, if anti-mage and Queen get their BKBs off, that should be enough for them to win the fight. So, I don't know, maybe MVP come up with a creative way to take control of the fight. They can't really fight into those BKBs.
Radiant's
They're
middle
just not strong
tower
enough.
Is
under
the push
attack.
top lane and then relocate in the West Tiny with fortifications down?
Radiant structures are fortified.
That's the play. Tiny's gonna finish his Aghanim set before they can do it, but once they've done it, Mineski can't leave their base out of fear of losing it. And
The
they
good
don't
news
have great
for-
wave clear. Like the anti-mage is the only one with good wave clear.
The good news for MVP is that even though they've been trying to close out the game, they are under no pressure to close out the game. They're not, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to outscale. Ember Spirit and Tiny have so much more to grow, so much stronger to get, so much more damage to get, and like Anti-Mage is sort of peaking right now, and he's not going to get a whole lot stronger. Sure, he'll finish his Abyssal Blade, but that'll be about it. Maybe he'll replace his Vlads. So yeah, MVP have been trying to finish the game, but if they want to sit back, split push, control the game, get a lot more farm, that's actually going to be fine for them, I think.
Relocate. Euro brings the pressure up top, and then they can just take the range racks. If they want to. Baby's in the neighborhood. They might be a little bit worried they'll just die and then get isolated, then lose the game. It could be a bit of a problem in the back of their mind. And Tiny still doesn't have that Aghanim set yet.
Yeah, it's a decision. It's actually very interesting because there's MVP that it's kind of their nature to just go for the players. But at the same time, I'm wondering if they're thinking about now, like, okay, maybe we should slow it down. Because as I said, they can. They definitely can. For them to do that. Well, Uber's actually got that Aghanim Scepter, which, okay.
Yeah.
So, if Mineski ever tried to push, they're not going to succeed because Duber's going to make someone into rock and push them halfway into his base. That's scary.
That's a quick Roshan spawn. That's a real quick Roshan spawn. Mineski used the Curry to scout it out, but now they see he's up. Cannot allow MVP to take this, but again, this is exactly what MVP should be doing. Hero forces out the top lane. Doesn't have to be there for too long. Fence the other lanes. And now Mineski, okay, they're quick enough. I was actually worried there would be more people to do to this, but they have enough damage that they get that Aegis the Immortal into the hands of Cuckoo. And he drops his Vladimir's offering to hold on to it.
I think, unfortunately, it doesn't really help Mineski in terms of the dynamic of the game. Like, they need to get pickoffs, they need to get kills, because MVP is just going to want to split, and they can do it forever, and having an Aegis doesn't help you against split. Like, maybe if Mineski can try and push, or force a fight, Aegis will help them even more. But if the fight's the enemy high ground, they still lose it, I think. And I don't think MVP take a fight anywhere except for at their high ground right now. Like, they'll maybe take a fight where they have numbers, but a 5v5 fight, there's no reason for MVP to feel forced to take those fights.
Move and evade, move and evade.
It's such a suppression of the anti-mage, actually, because anti-mage is a hero that is used to controlling the game by split pushing, actually. And it's like, yeah, but now he's on the team that's being split pushed. And sure, he can like get his farm and push the lanes back out, but he's not applying pressure by aggressively pushing into the enemy base, and usually that's one of the major strengths of the hero.
Okay, so MVP. How do you come out safely? Top lane is being forever pushed in. You're not seeing any wards because, well, at least you got the gem. There's wait, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Yeah, at least they've got the gem, but they need to see where MVP is moving. Like, they have to clean out and control their own jungle. As long as they don't, this MVP push will just continue. And over he comes. Quick blink from the Tiny. They're not going to get the amplification off. If you sprint forward like that, okay, they're going to glimpse him. You still got BKB available, in fact, to relocate. They realize because they're chasing him on top that you're battling backdoor regeneration, but that's not the play. Backdoor regen is not gonna hold up. They get through the range racks and then relocate back up the top. Getting all the TPs out. It looks like the Slider also got picked up on the top lane by QO. So he's down for 64 seconds. And MVP
Yeah,
will start the
such
push.
a pretty technical decision being made there because you're relocating out of a gank but also into backdooring, and so then the enemy team goes back and Slaughter gets caught out because his whole team's trying to retreat and stop your push. It's just like, I think MVP's draft and the way they're playing the game forces Mineski to make a lot of very difficult decisions. I still maintain, even with the Slaughter dead, it's possible that
Cuckoo.
Mineski,
He jumps on Femi, the BKB will protect Cuckoo and he'll get the last hit. The Ghost Step is not stopping the mana point, but then the toss back at the cleave coming out from the Tiny. They'll get rid of the Tombstone so quickly. Hero jumping back forward again. He's going to get Orchid, but jumped out of it with the Mana Style. They surround Cuckoo on all sides, throwing in another Ember Spirit. Remember, actually they got the Undying back up. Thanks to buyback, and the Silo will be respawning in a moment. So MVP won't force the
another
issue.
objective goes down. One of the tier 4s went down during that fight.
Even if they kill Cuckoo during that, he still had the Aegis the Immortal. Chance of him being able to have another chance to use that Aegis in the next 2 minutes is pretty low. So Mineski would have been fine if MVP killed him.
Yeah, the thing is, the frustrating part of this game right now for Mineski is that MVP can win the game without doing it. Oh, he's turned Anti-Mage into a rock, and okay, just for fun.
But Anti-Mage kept farming, even though he had a Dire Observer Ward down here that saw the Earth Spirit here, he still blinked in. That's how much respect he gives.
I think MVP could easily win this game without killing Anti-Mage ever again. Like, it's not necessary to kill him. And it's on Mineski to force those fights where they can get value out of the BKBs. The Queen of Pain's now got X, the Anti-Mage, now Abyssal recently. Like, those fights, Mineski needs to somehow orchestrate them. Because MVP can definitely win the game without taking proper, like, full-on fights.
Oh, they found QO. This could be it for Mineski. They'll go for the Orc. Remember, he still gets the Mana Style dodge out, and they Abyssal Blade the wrong one. So QO is up in the trees. Meanwhile, in the South France, MVP going in through the tunnels. Mineski, the backdoor regens enough this time around. No, Bevy! Oh, okay, that's Dream.
I needed to BKB, got glimpsed as he was relocating out.
They needed the
Really
creep
good
wave
timing,
inside the
actually.
base. They couldn't kill off the rack through the fortification.
Kyo's being targeted yet again. X is up. Short cooldown on Hex.
But they're using QO as bait. Sentry is down. Okay, well, they catch out the Earth Spirit. Overcomes the back wall, only catching both Vash as well as Riot. Riot still able to get that BKB off. The head is going to wear off as QO. He'll disappear back deeper inside the tree line and MVP will disengage. The Earth Spirit wasn't part of that plan.
Yeah, it wasn't, but it's not going to alter the dynamic of the game. Or Cuckoo could actually catch Kyo here.
He's got to get the Abyssal.
Oh, he blinked in as the slide went off, and that's like, if you're busy sliding something like on you, you're always going to be able to jump for it.
Easiest kill of that Tiny's life. Waited in the trees and
This is
just
the
went
problem.
for it.
The problem is that it's a lot easier for MVP to predict Mineski's movements, because they know Mineski needs to pick them off, and so Mineski's going to be chasing them around the map. And that opens up those weak spots where, like, okay, people have just left this lane to chase QO to that lane. Well, now we can kill the people who are straggling behind in this lane. I think it's just much more difficult to play from this position for Mineski. It has been for the last 10 or 15 minutes, and I think they're definitely still in the game, they can definitely still win the game, but it's a much more difficult game for them to play.
Yeah, but QO does so much damage. One sleight of fist and the slightest below half of his life. Another one's gonna go, now they blink crush, they get through the Lincoln Spear. QO, Manta, and then straight back out again, and now they go again on Potato. Still that 5-second BKB of his, but 5 seconds is more than enough to protect himself. While Forev in trouble, the Abyssal Blade locked down, Forev gonna go Scepter and run away. He's strong enough to survive up against those Undying minions, but QO locked in Slaughter once again, and now the fortification Dubu just knocking Forev so far away. We'll go back to the front lines of the fight where QO is bouncing around. They get through the tombstone. Bevy getting first hit bashed up by Cuckoo. And now, even though just the regular bash going into the Tiny, Cuckoo's able to blink himself away, but Riol put himself in harm's way. He'll go down, and maybe now with the G being triggered over on the Queen of Pain, she may even still go down. They bring it from 0 to 100% back down to 0 again. And Mineski, they're on the run. MVP want to go for more. The Boulder only barely missing out in duels. Solo rank, he comes in through the top. He'll have to walk his way into the mid to take out that tower. But this time around, there's no backdoor regeneration, and there's no Quap as well as Silo for a long period of time.
Yeah, Quap's about 100 gold away from buyback. Slaughter's 20 gold away from buyback. They're so close.
They're dead. Jules. Oh, Cuckoo. On him the space. The vac may remove that space. The mana boy forever. Ghost Scepter and surge away. They can't get close enough. Another rock gets drawn forward. So Cubo now with a mana style out. Trying to fit just picking into Jules once again. And there's your buyback. The Slaughter back on the field with the melee ranks in the mid taking out QO. Rotating down to the bottom to join up the rest of his creep wave. And this will keep Jules there, which bought the space for the solo ranked warrior just move back away from the fight.
This is the only kind of fight that MVP is going to take. That fight that broke up at the top lane is because it's an attempt by Mineski on Cure. Pain uses Hex, Orchid, Ulti, BKB. They don't kill Cure. And then MVP is like, fine, we can turn around. Now we can take a fight because your cop wasted everything and essentially had no effect. Just a really, really tough situation for Mineski. I don't know how they need to make these pickups work. It's like 3 or 4 times in a row they've tried to pick up Cure now and failed to do it. Like, to start with, they need to actually be killing him when they got him.
There's our first Lotus Orb. Coming in for the Darkseer. Oh wow, Dubu actually managed to snipe the courier. Leaves an observer and a sentry behind. Actually thought there was a remnant in there. You are. Obviously doesn't give vision anymore. But still. Mineski, they're 1 melee and 1 range racks away from facing down Megas. Kuku's actually at a point where he can't tank the wave because he's got no lifesteal. And he doesn't have the heart to regenerate.
It's actually a little bit troubling for him.
Oh, they found him. He's still got the BKB. Eventually, he could have been a little bit more aggressive to try and force it. But they decided against it.
Like, want to go on the quap. They always want to go on the quap. It's like they're always setting up to try and catch up Jay, but it actually didn't ping out. So
they run underneath that observer ward, which has never disappeared. Like it's almost a full duration observer ward.
And Mineski really do this.
Oh, they jump in. The blink, avalanche, the damage, the physical, just 1 false swing to get the ding. Not gonna happen. The blink to TPD out, but a little bit further down the lane. It's Kuku who's getting a little bit more aggressive over an MVP, but of course when you get aggressive, MVP becomes ratty. They go in through the bottom, they want to take out the melee rack, they're still battling the fortification. Febby, he needs to get that tether back up again, able to do so. And the rack starts to regenerate very, very quickly. Sonic Wave, Duo, the Lotus Orb actually breaking free of the silence. Just look at that jump forward and not bring down QO. Does he want to buy back this one? The back for him, very much top target. Solrek Warriors only just bringing down the creep wave, but now their creep wave does enter through the base. So back on bottom lane, QO has bought back. He's attacking the melee rank. Now the Vassal rank warrior to go for the range rank, and this will be Megas against Mineski. 1 more punch, there it is from the Tani. The toss and kill the anti-base, who will have buyback, but that Tani is such a beast. He's going to start cleaving through the Mineski lineup, and let's do something about it. You can hex it, but QO is back in the fight. They've lost the Queen of Pain. There's a dieback on the anti-mage, and MVP, they will hold their #1 position out of the group and qualify for the Dota Pit Land Finals over Mineski, who really royally punished MVP during Game 1. But they got out-splitted by MVP in Game 2.
Yeah, and in this game, I gotta say, Mineski did quite well from the mid game in the position they found themselves in, but it was a position which was like